Hello everyone, this is part 2 of my episode with Cindy Weng, and here she speaks about her research. Check the description box below for when Cindy answers specific questions, and I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to pivot into the other side of this interview because you also are an engineer and scientist and work in a lab. So as a friend that I interviewed recently said, like, where did I find the time to do lab work?
No, exactly. We're doing it all the time.
Yeah, but I mean, that's we're holistic people and we are multidimensional, so we have various interests. So going into your work, your research work, how does your research impact society? So going into that question in more detail. So your current research with our advisor, Professor William Mitch, focuses on electrochemical activation of hydrogen peroxide as an advanced oxidation process for the treatment of reverse osmosis RO permeate during potable reuse. Give me your spiel about what this is and how future technologies inspired by your research may impact society. That's a long question.
My research is suddenly starting to sound like a lot of jargon, which...
That's how you know you're getting a PhD.
No, but science communication is so important. And I'm glad also, I wanted to say I'm glad we started this talk with something that wasn't science either, because I feel like scientists try to stay away from social issues and or talking about race, things like that. And I think that it's still important to have those discussions, even if it's not what we're getting a PhD in. So I appreciate that. Anyways, especially since our science affects society. So
especially ours, water.
Right, it's important to acknowledge that.
It's important.
So kind of stepping back, bigger picture, if we think about it, my work is more broadly impacting what's called potable reuse. And so potable reuse is when we take wastewater and we essentially recycle it for drinking water purposes. That's direct potable reuse. And so that's what I work on more generally. And the broader impact of that really is that, severe water stress is only going to increase for populations across globally. So, so ideally, potable reuse is one of the solutions that we can use to address water scarcity across the world. And so in a potable reuse train, typically there's 2 processes, one followed by the other. And the first one would be reverse osmosis, and then the next one following would be advanced oxidation processes. So we call those AOPs. And so reverse osmosis is this process where you've got this membrane, and basically you've got water with some contaminants going through, or getting removed, really. So after that water comes out of the membrane, you've got cleaner water, but sometimes little contaminants leak through. And so those contaminants that leak through, we've got this second method called the AOP, kind of like a, catch system, just like stuff leaks through. So we are going to make sure that the water is extra safe and clean it again, basically. So we use the AOP for that. And so the advanced oxidation process usually tries to oxidize those contaminants using hydroxyl radicals. And so right now, the primary method is using UV peroxide and to generate hydroxyl radicals. But UV peroxide can be really energy intensive and also not very chemically efficient. It uses a lot of peroxide, but not all of it is converted to hydroxyl radicals. And so the idea is that if we can electrochemically generate hydroxyl radicals, it'll be more efficient. And so the general idea is that we've got an electrochemical system, and you inject peroxide, and then you basically put a lot of electricity into it, and then from there you can generate the hydroxyl radicals to treat your reverse osmosis permeate meaning the water that comes
through,
the reverse osmosis.
Awesome.
Yeah. So ideally this technology would replace an AOP system.
Yeah,
and make it more energy efficient and chemically efficient too.
So you're basically focusing on electrochemistry versus this giant reactor design with a UV light and hydrogen peroxide that's energy intensive and inefficient.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay. And so you're in your third year of the PhD. How is that? How has your idea of graduate school changed since you've come in your first year versus now?
Um,
And I'm going to use that answer to lead into the last question, which is my favorite question.
I think my idea of graduate school has changed in the sense that I think that anyone can get a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I've come to realize that people just need the right resources,
Mm-hmm.
and the right opportunities. And if people it's really more of a perhaps mental challenge, an emotional challenge in some extent.
Mm-hmm.
And that anyone can really get the PhD if they really want to. But it's more about having those opportunities and those resources. Be here.
I agree. How I thought about it was you go to undergrad, and to get the PhD you work really hard to do well in classes and and you do research on the side, so you're always working. But then you come in and realize the PhD is a lot more about work efficacy, which is how much you're willing to put in to get this get this thing. And I don't necessarily think it's a measure of there's some aspect of intellect that's necessary, obviously, but I think work efficacy is a larger percentage of the what it takes.
No, definitely.
And so, what is the most common misconception about graduate school that you would like to dispel for viewers of this episode?
I don't know if this is necessarily a misconception, but I think people forget about how important your advisor is. Your research is super, super important, but I think over time I've really started realizing that having a good advisor fit is really important and conducive for your success throughout the PhD. How much support you get, if you need it, or how much support you need. The funding you get, or the funding support you get. It affects your research project. It affects the group culture. It affects the people you're working with. I think picking your advisor is one of the most important things when you're looking to do a PhD.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think sometimes people catch names.
Yeah.
And then don't enjoy that. Sometimes the name and the lab culture align very well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, picking the right advisor is very important.
Yeah.
Extremely important. Wow, this was a great interview, Cindy. And then now I'm gonna see you in lab. No. Are you going into lab later?
Not today, but Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not going in.
The end of the day now.
Yeah, it's the end of the day, and my GC run is going until 9 p.m. There's literally nothing for me to do. So, except edit this video. Huh?
Oh, I was going to say instruments are important too.
Instruments are important too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I had fun.
Yeah.
And yeah. Alrighty.
All right. Have a good day, Adam.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hello everyone, thank you for watching this episode featuring Cindy Weng. I thoroughly enjoyed doing this episode, and I hope that you learned some stuff about water research and Cindy's experience as an Asian American being an ally. So stay tuned for next week. Please like and subscribe to this channel, and see you.